Morning, Jennifer. I'm going to talk to you today about leadership. I'm first going to start it off with qualities of a leader. And I'm going to tell a little story, and this was back when I was in the Marines, of my boss, actually, from my first unit that I went to. His name's Lloyd Johnson. And he had a really big impact on my life. He's such an outstanding guy, and I don't think I would be where I am today without having him. But I first checked into the unit. I heard all these horror stories about this guy. That he's just an asshole. And I go to his office. He goes, "Hey, how's it going? Sit down. We'll chat for a little bit." So we start chatting, and he's asking me all these questions. I'm like thinking to myself, why is he asking me all these questions? Why does he care about my family or what's going on in my life? What's he doing? And then about a week went by. I never said a word to him. And he keeps asking every morning, basically, how's it going? How was your night? What's going on? Do you want to take leave? When do you want to take leave? What are you gonna do? All these questions, and I'm just kind of like putting him off again. Let me just do my work. And I honestly think that's what it takes to be a leader. One of the biggest traits. Always being there for your employees like he was for me. He was always there asking me how I was, asking me how my family was, And that's big, especially when you're so far away from everybody. And I'm 18 at this point, and I was living out in California by myself, paying my own rent, paying all that. And it was just nice because he was actually there, almost kind of like a dad or a brother, which was nice since you were so far away. The next thing I'm gonna talk to you about is the movie, and the first question is, when are you looking to anticipate change? Or where are you looking to anticipate change? Sorry. And the answer to this question, I think, for myself at least, is you got to make sure that you're expanding all your resources, like who you're spending time with, what books you're reading. Are you going to conventions? Are you trying to learn about your field more than what you just basically know off pure knowledge? You gotta dig into it. This is what makes people so good in the job fields that they're in. They might not know anything about that specific job field when they first started, but if they start looking into it, digging deeper, digging more deep, they're going to find all this information, and then they're going to be able to lead the individuals that have actually been there for 10 plus years. The next question is, what is the diversity measure of your network? So when I think about this question, I always just think you got to start building relationships with people that you may not necessarily want to build relationships with, just because they're not like you, or you guys don't have the same hobbies, or whatever it may be. But that's important, because once you're let's say you're selling your product and you're trying to get this wholesale account, well, what's to say that this person that you're trying to sell to has the same beliefs and believes in all the same stuff that you do? So it's important to build these relationships with other networks, because then it'll make you understand, how these people think, which then will hopefully get you to sell the item that you're trying to sell. The last question is, are you courageous enough to abandon the past? And basically, what I think about this is, are you gonna just take risks? Are you gonna let whatever you had going on in the past, like for example, for me, I was in the military. I loved it, but I had my girlfriend back here. I knew she wasn't gonna leave here. Her whole family's here. She's just not that type of person. But I was thinking of the bigger picture. I really wanted to marry this girl, and I knew that. But I also loved the military, and it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. But the thing is I abandoned it because I knew I needed to move forward, and I knew that there was something better. So I left the past. I'm gonna forget about it. Sometimes I talk about it. I don't really like to. I don't like to really associate it anymore. I just use it as basically experience that I had. But I want to forget totally about it. I mean, it's done. So you can't just keep living in that past. You got to move on, move forward. All right. So here's my flyer, and the two points that I think I like the most on on these, out of all these qualities, is achievement leaderships, because I'm constantly pushing my employees at the market. I know what they are capable of, but sometimes they're not the smartest. I mean, it's hard because I see them working their tail off one day, and then I'll have to go to school or something, and then I come back and they're just, it's almost like they're going in slow motion. So I use this to my advantage. I kind of get on their tail about it. I push them, and then next thing I know it, they're working at top speed again. And then supportive leadership, just like my boss was, like I just told you, it's important to ask how things are going at home. You never know. Maybe that person's having a terrible day just because his wife and him got in a big argument the night prior, or maybe he didn't sleep that much the night before because his kid was up all night crying. It's important to always ask about how your employees are doing. That way they can trust you, and they can always come to you if they're ever having a problem or anything like that. So I think those are the two biggest traits. I hope you enjoyed my video, my story, and thank you for your time.